Good morning, everybody. Y here at WIP and I am being really quiet because it's still dark outside and people are still sleeping in my house. I am still working on my custom from Rhinestone Goddess Creations. Let's see if I can bring you down a little more. So I'm still working on this custom from Rhinestone Goddess Creations for my comparison series. This one is huge. It is, let me find my sheet. Gosh, I should have had this all ready. So I didn't kit it up, so I still have all of the stickers. I started it on the 9th of October. I'm not even halfway yet. It's taken me a while. It is 75 by 105. It's massive. It is 63, 60 colors. They are 5 or 6 of them are ABs. Yeah, it's just a crazy large canvas. It's nice and colorful, and it's been just a joy to work with. I love working on Rhinestone Goddess canvases. The problem I have with the Rhinestone Goddess customs is they are very confetti heavy, like very confetti heavy. So there's that. If you like confetti, it is definitely the custom place for you. I can only go by my own experience, and I have experienced a couple very confetti heavy customs. Of course, the ones that I sent to have done custom are were very detailed, so I guess that's understandable. I can get by that. I don't mind confetti, but oh my goodness, I'm ready for a break. I am ready for a break. Oops, that one's full. All right, so we're going to continue on with my series of curated questions. This is going to be part 9. I do realize that there was no part 7. That was my fault. It's when I labeled them, I just skipped 7. I don't know why. I just did. 7 is my favorite number, so I'm really surprised that I skipped my favorite number. But, oh, as of the recording of this video, it is Sunday morning, October 15th, and it is very early morning. It's still dark out. So I may or may not get this video up today. It may be tomorrow. We'll see how my day unfolds. Yesterday we did all of our errands in the rain. I went to Hobby Lobby and looked at their Christmas canvases, DAC canvases, and we spent a bunch of money on Christmas decor because it's all 50% off right now, which is really nice. And the Christmas diamond paintings also fit in that 50% off, so that was nice. I got a couple of diamond paintings, and then the rest was Christmas decor. Yeah, we had fun. Husband went with me. We had a really good time walking through and looking at all the Christmas. Came home and I did it before we left. We used the Instant Pot as a slow cooker for the first time yesterday, and it was lovely. We made homemade chicken barley soup with vegetables. It turned out absolutely fantabulous. Is that a word? I just made up a word, everybody. So if you are wondering how your Instant Pot does as a crock pot, my experience was very favorable, and it was such a rainy, wet, cold day yesterday that it was just perfect. So we had that for dinner with some Famous Dave's cornbread. And yeah, then we bought some caramel apples at the grocery store yesterday when we were there. And I was so excited about these caramel apples. It's one of my favorite things about fall is the caramel apples. And they just were not good. They were not good, people, not good. There was too many peanuts, and the peanuts that were on them were like burnt tasting. And the caramel had zero flavor. Yeah, we were so disappointed. So I am on the lookout for some good caramel apples. Normally we get them at the state fair, but we didn't go to the state fair, so it rained during the state fair. Anyways, so Friday I had an eye appointment. We're getting to the questions, I promise. Friday I had an eye appointment for what my optometrist thought was a torn or detached retina in my left eye. And so I had to go see a specialist yesterday, and we were there 3 solid hours. Yeah, I don't know what the problem was. I don't know why they were so far behind, but 3 solid hours. And I'm glad I took hubby with me because he had to drive me home. Turns out I do not have a detached or torn retina. What I have is some aging to my eyes that caused some floaters and a little bit of blood in the back of my eye, which is what I've been seeing as it's so small you can't see it with your eye, like looking at my eye, but it was going across my eye like a webbing or something. So he said that'll be absorbed back into my body. He doesn't know what that's from because I have no trauma to my eye. He just thinks I'm aging. But that was really good news for me because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have surgery on my eye. I'm going to have to lay with my head down for 2 weeks and just all this crazy stuff going through my head, as would anybody facing that situation. And it was just like this huge, huge sigh of relief that it is not anything dangerous. He hopes that either the floater thingies will go away or my brain will just get used to them and I won't see them anymore. So I have to go back in 6 weeks just to make sure that nothing has changed. So when you first get in there, they, well, not when you first get in there because it took a really long time. But at some point they dilated my eyes. First they put some numbing drops in my eyes, and then they dilated my eyes. And then the ophthalmologist actually took a tool and actually went and pushed around my eye. I didn't feel any of it because my eyes were numb evidently. And he manipulated my eyes and moved it and put pressure on it and did all kinds of crazy things, which all turned out to be normal aging eyes. So that was a good thing for me yesterday or Friday. So, and you all know, I had talked about my friend who was diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, she had her surgery this week, and I've spoken with her a couple of times. The last time was on Friday the 13th, which was the same day I went to the eye doctor. Her surgeon called and said everything looked just wonderful. They got it all, and they were still waiting for information on the lymph node, but they got it all, and they are very hopeful for her, and I am so excited for her. So everybody talks about Friday the 13th being a really crappy day. Well, let me just tell you, between you and me and everybody here in the YouTube world that Friday the 13th doesn't have to be a crappy day. Friday the 13th to me is an amazing day. I got good news. My friend got good news. Her friend got good news. Everybody got good news. So Friday the 13th is a lucky day. Lucky day for me. All right, let's get to this list of questions that I have for today. Again, let me remind you that I have not read these questions, so I haven't given them any thought. So the answers that I'm going to give to each and every one of these questions is going to be off the cuff, unrehearsed, and genuine. So, and you know, if you've watched any of these earlier videos, that some of the questions I'm unable to answer because they are more pop culture today type questions that I don't know anything about. So there's a little bit of that. Keep in mind when that happens that I'm getting old and I don't do some of the things I used to do. So if they're trivia type questions, then I can give an answer, to those kinds of pop culture. But recent pop culture, I am not in the know. So that being said, here is question number 1. What's the best book to movie adaptation? What about book to television series? Something just beeped. I don't know what it was. Okay, book. Again, I would have to say V.C. Andrews' Flowers in the Attic for book to movie. I don't know of any book to television series. Oh, book to movie. Dope Sick was really good, and it made a very good movie on Hulu, a Hulu original, I believe. But if you haven't seen it, it is called Dope Sick, and it is about the opioid epidemic and how it started. Yeah, you need to see it. It is a fantastic eye opener. It's sad that we needed a movie like that, but it is fantastic and eye opening. So I suggest that you give it a look because it was really good. So Dope Sick and Flowers in the Attic are the two that I would pick. Okay, what's the smelliest thing someone could put in the office microwave? All right, smelliest doesn't mean bad. The worst thing somebody could put in the office microwave is burnt popcorn. And I don't mean putting the burnt popcorn in the microwave, but I mean burning it in the microwave. Oh my gosh, that is the most awful smell. The other smell that just churns my stomach is the smell of marijuana being smoked. That skunky, ewy smell of marijuana. You're driving down the road and the car in front of you is smoking, and it just churns my stomach. So I would have to say burning popcorn in the microwave. Yes, most definitely. What was your first magazine subscription? My first magazine subscription was probably, way back in the day, either Tiger Beat or Teen Beat or something like that would come in the mail with all of the pop stars and cute boys. Yeah, that would be it. As an adult, my first one would probably have been Good Housekeeping. Is GIF pronounced GIF or GIF? I think it depends on who you are and where you're speaking it. I say GIF, like the peanut butter. But I don't know that that's correct. That's just what I say. So, in the comments, what say you? Is it pronounced GIF or GIF, like peanut butter? What is your go-to excuse for getting out of plans? Well, I don't usually make plans because as an introvert, I prefer to just stay home. But my go-to excuse to get out of going somewhere that I have committed to is usually a health reason. And it's usually true. If I commit to something, I usually do it unless I'm really feeling bad. So it would have to be a health reason, and it would have to be a true health reason, not something I just made up because I didn't want to go somewhere. Because that's not what I do. So it would be back in the day, it was migraine headaches kept me from doing the things that I love to do. Today, it is my back. Like yesterday, by the time I went to bed last night, I was in pain because we grocery shopped. I got the crock pot dinner ready and set up, and then we went and we walked around Hobby Lobby. I just walked too much yesterday, and I until something fixes, until something changes, I'm just not going to be able to do that like I used to be able to do that. So there's that. Who is your favorite Disney princess and why? Well, all the Disney princesses have a good why. They all do. They all are amazing, and I love them all. I just love everything Disney. So this is a tough one, but not a tough one. I don't know. My all-time favorite Disney movie. I have two, but in order. Number one is Beauty and the Beast, and number two is Aladdin. So that being said, my favorite would be Belle because her and I are the most alike. She's kind of to herself. She likes to read, and she's very caring, family oriented. She has an imagination, and yeah. So Belle is my favorite. Jasmine is my second favorite because that's my second favorite movie. And I'm not anything like her. Um, I'm not held captive in my house. I'm not, I don't come from money or royalty or any of those things. Maybe I just aspire to be royalty or come from money. But I love her. I love the way that she carries herself, and I love the outfit that she wears. Maybe it's because I could never wear something like that, and I wish I could. I don't know. But she's my next favorite. That and her love for her tiger. That's a big deal. Yeah, so I would have to go with Belle and then Jasmine. And those are my reasons why. But I most closely relate to Belle. And so she's my favorite. And there was a time in my life when when I felt like a prisoner. So we just relate. We relate to each other. There was a time in my life when I was being controlled, and yeah. So That's my favorite movie of all time. My favorite all-time favorite movie of all time, of any movie, not just Disney movies. It is just my all-time favorite movie. I've seen it about 100 times. I can recite it word for word as we're watching it. It's just my favorite. Where was your most unforgettable vacation? Where was your most unforgettable vacation? Okay, well, I have two that are in the top. Of course, Disney is one of them, and I just don't even have to go there to explain that one. But the other one is when the two younger children were small, um, like maybe 8 and 12, or 7 and 11. We took them on vacation to Williamsburg, Virginia. We all lived in North Carolina, and so we took the kids for a full week to Williamsburg, Virginia, and I had funded this vacation solely by selling things on eBay. So it is quite a ways ago when you could sell things on eBay, and actually when a person could sell things on eBay, not a store. Anyways, um, I bought these Barbie dolls that were, it was 2006, I think. So Aaron would have been 10 or 11. Yeah. So anyways, so I bought these Barbies and we sold them online, um, and made quite a profit. They were the Barbies of that year or something, 2004. I don't remember what year it was, but they were special holiday Barbies. And we bought 2 cases of them and then turned around and sold them on eBay and made a bunch of money, and enough money that we decided we would take the kids on vacation. So we went to Williamsburg. We got a little flea bag hotel, and it was really nice though. They, in the ad, they said that they had breakfast there, and when we got there, they didn't have breakfast. So every morning, the man would go over to the grocery store and buy juice and donuts and fruit for the kids every morning because, we were like, we were told there was breakfast. It was just the sweetest. That hotel is no longer there. It's actually something else now. Like they tore it down and rebuilt the whole entire area. And so it is something else now. But every time we go by it, we fondly think of this vacation we took with the kids. So we were there for 7 days, 6 nights, 7 days, and we went to Colonial Williamsburg. We went to Busch Gardens. We went to Water Country. The kids learned so much that week. In fact, we had them each night when we got back to the hotel room, we had them kind of journal their day so that, we could talk about what they learned that day, because there's so much to learn in Colonial Williamsburg. But we bought them colonial costumes, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And that is the most memorable vacation. Second to Disney, of course, second to Disney. Disney's always going to have the top spot. But anyways, yeah, because, Disney magic, when you get Disney magic, it just makes your vacation. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we talk about that vacation all the time. It was the first real vacation that the kids had ever been on, where we actually, went and stayed in a hotel and did stuff and went out to eat every night. And yeah, it was really, really quite cool. And on the way there, we went the long way so that we could take them on the ferry and come through Jamestown. And yeah, it was very cool. Very cool. So if you're wondering if Williamsburg is a good place to take your children, I can tell you our experience was our kids had the best time. but we did incorporate the, so we bought the week-long pass that got us into Williamsburg, Busch Gardens, and Water Country. And it was really hot. We went the week after the 4th of July. So it was really not crowded. And so we would go to the actual Colonial Williamsburg in the morning, and then in the afternoon we would do the park or the water or Water Country, because the kids would be so hot from playing and having a good old time. So yeah, that would be it. Were you given any yearbook superlatives in high school? I was not. I was friends with everybody, including the most popular people, but I never got any superlatives from. I don't even think they do that anymore, do they? Most likely to succeed, the cutest, most popular, all of that kind of stuff. I was friends with them all, but I was not them. All right, I saw another one. Well, I'll find it later. So no, my answer to that would be no. I never received any high school superlatives. What's the most amount of hours you've ever slept in one day? Well, I am not. There it is right there. Oh my goodness. I'm not a big sleeper. I'm a early to bed, early to rise. I want to say if I slept 10 hours, my family would think that something was wrong with me. So I'm going to go with 10 hours. I know I have a child, one of my children, who could just sleep forever. He could sleep forever and not even bat an eye about it. He is 24. Do you believe in aliens? Do not believe in aliens. I don't believe in Area 52 or whatever it is called. I just don't. Is there life on other planets? Maybe. Are they aliens? Maybe not. Who knows? But I'm all about, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 24 is key. So I don't get why everybody is so, I don't know. No, I don't believe in aliens. Just flat out no, I don't believe in aliens. What's the worst sporting event you have ever attended? The worst sporting 24 is P. The worst sporting event I've ever attended. I don't think I've attended a worst sporting event. I know that when my children were in like t-ball and baseball, it was really hard to watch them not be able to play, because they're just little kids that are just learning. But as far as worst sporting event, I know my husband would say he went to a NASCAR race in Charlotte, North Carolina, when we lived in North Carolina, and it poured on them, like just poured. And then they called the race, and it was a Memorial weekend, and so they raced the next day. I mean, it was just, they raced on Monday instead of Sunday. The guys were soaked, so I can say that. But as far as me, I really haven't had a negative experience at a sporting event. We love to go see our local baseball minor league, the Squirrels, and my husband and I love hockey, but since we moved to Virginia, there's no hockey. yeah, I just can't. Oh, maybe I went to a Red Wings game in Detroit years and years and years and years and years ago. And when we came out, my car tire wheel covers were stolen, had been stolen off my car. So that, they were just wheel covers. They weren't even, yeah, that had to have been the worst. Was not the game itself, but the aftermath of the game. Somebody stole my wheel covers. Yes, of my brand new car. So, of course, they didn't have any wheel covers. We had to order them, and I had to drive the car around with no wheel covers. Yeah, that would be the worst one. How many tries did it take for you to pass your driver's test? Okay, I was 17 when I got my driver's license. I was married, and so my husband at the time signed for my driver's license. I took the test in a Z28 Camaro, and I was so nervous. Oh my goodness, I was so flippin' nervous. And I passed it on the first try, but then he realized that my license plate was in the window and not on the front of the car. This was back when Michigan required 2 license plates. They don't anymore, I don't believe. But anyways, after he'd already told me I passed, he said, had I seen that before, I would not have been able to pass you. But since he had already passed me, he let me get my license. Now, when I moved to North Carolina from Michigan, I had to take the written test in order to trade my license. And when I did that, I did not pass it the first time because there were regional type questions that I was, I answered it as if I was in Michigan. And so I had to go back. I could go back the next day and take it again. And I took it and I passed it. So if you're moving from state to state, you probably want to look at the driver's ed book just to make sure that any of your law questions you're up to in the know about different states' laws, because that was what I missed, or the regional law questions. So anyways, sometimes they aren't just common sense. So that was my, oh, and then later on, I got this weird letter in the mail from DMV telling me I had 2 licenses and that I needed to come and surrender one. And I was like, what? I came and surrendered it when I got my license, but they never sent it back to Michigan. Yeah, so for a while there, the Michigan people thought I had 2 driver's licenses. Yeah, it was kind of weird. But I had to go through, oops, that didn't go there. I had to go through some crazy stuff to get that fixed. Like, how do you tell somebody at the DMV they made a mistake? So yeah, I had to go and prove that I surrendered my license to get my new one. And then when I moved to Virginia, we had to go in and change our licenses to Virginia licenses, but we didn't have to take a written test because it was a reciprocal state. So we just had to prove that we lived in Virginia, and so we had to have our lease, our social security card, our driver's license, a bill in our name at the correct address. Yeah, all these crazy things. So we just had to prove residence. We had to prove that we were who we said we were and that we resided in the state that we reside in. And then they just swapped our licenses. They let us keep our North Carolina licenses, but they were invalid. What's the first thing you'd buy if you won the lottery today? If I won the lottery today, the first thing I would buy is some CDs and annuities. Yeah, that's the first thing I would buy, is something to secure a future. And then maybe, like, I wouldn't run right out and buy a house or a car. I don't need a car. I don't need a house. Maybe a vacation home in Florida near Disney at some point. Excuse me. Oh, let me get some coffee here. Oh, I need to turn off the fan in here because it is really getting chilly. So I have that turned off now. All right. So tell me, what would be the first thing you'd buy if you won the lottery today? First of all, tell me if you play the lottery, because you have to play to win, right? Well, I don't play, so probably wouldn't win. So how about that 100 and some billion? I mean, 1.3 or 1.5 billion dollars this last go around. It still didn't make me run out and buy a ticket. I don't know. I don't win, so I'm not the lucky one. In fact, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. That's how life goes for me. So I just don't waste my money. Although you always hear about the people that win are the ones that just bought a ticket because it was 110 million or whatever. Billion. It was billions this time. I think somebody won. I'm not sure. I don't keep up on that because, well, I don't watch TV. So the only TV watching I'm doing is YouTube. Again, if I follow you on YouTube, I am probably watching your channel. I don't usually leave comments or anything, but I am definitely there. If I'm watching on my TV in the craft room, I don't get a chance to hit the like button. If I'm watching on my tablet, I do. 54 is the pi symbol. I don't know why I pour so many drills in here, because let me put on here. What's the funniest joke you know? Oh, I don't know. I'm not a jokester, but I did hear a joke the other day that it was a bad dad joke, but why did the elephant have to turn around at the airport? He forgot to pack his trunk. Yeah, stupid dad jokes. I remember when we used to watch TV, my go-to local channel was the local CBS channel, WTVR, CBS 6. And Rob Cardwell in the morning he's one of the anchors, one of the co-anchors in the morning. He was the dad joke king. Yes. But I don't even know who's on that at that station anymore, because I just don't even watch. I don't watch any TV. I seem so much happier without being distracted by television and the news and the crap that's going on all over the world. Just so much better for it. J is 18. I know that seems weird to not want to know what's going on in the world, but it's so much bad stuff that I just want to stay away from it all. I know there was one up there. Yay. Oh, that's because I'm doing a different one now. I kind of forgot where I was for a minute there, guys. Do you consider cereal to be a soup? Cereal a soup? I know that there's such a thing as a cold soup. It's called gazpacho. I do not consider cereal a soup. Cereal is cereal. You couldn't eat, okay, here's the difference. You couldn't eat soup with your hands, dry with your hands, like you can cereal. So cereal is not a soup. To me, a soup is warm. I'm not a gazpacho drinker. So soup is warm and best with some kind of bread, whether it's cornbread or biscuits or crackers or crusty bread, like a baguette. Yeah, soup is best done warm, in my opinion. Who wins the fight between Superman and Batman? Again, I'm unable to answer this one because I don't know anything about Superman or Batman. Not a Marvel fan, not a superhero fan, none of that stuff. So I am unable to answer this question. If you were to go on Shark Tank, what idea would you pitch? Okay, so I think it was the other day, and I mentioned it to my husband that I wish that the Instant Pot did something. I said, I wish I could invent. Oh, I wish that I could invent a way for the Instant Pot when it counts down to be able to tell you on your phone. So, some of the recipes for whatever you're making require that you let the Instant Pot rest for X amount of time. Well, the Instant Pot should be Bluetooth, and you should be able to get it on your phone so that you can just look at your Instant Pot and see how long it's been going down, because it takes a while for it to pressurize, and then you do your cooking, and then it beeps when it's done, and then if you don't hear that beep, you don't realize that it is resting. So I would invent a way to Bluetooth your Instant Pot. Or I would create a Bluetooth pressure cooker. So you could put your stuff in it, and then you could set it, and then everything else you could do from your phone. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. Now, having said that, we use our Instant Pot a lot. So to somebody who doesn't use their Instant Pot a lot, that might not be a big deal. To us, that's a pretty big deal because we use ours a lot. And my craft room and my kitchen are 13 stairs away. And so I have to keep running up and down the stairs. I feel like I run up and down the stairs a lot. Actually, I'm not running these days, but I go up and down the stairs a lot. And it's difficult for me sometimes if my back is hurting to get up and down the stairs. So yeah, that would be ideal. A Bluetooth pressure cooker, not crock, but Instant Pot. Yep, that's what I would invent. All right. If you could attend a dinner with any celebrity, living or dead, who would you choose? If I could go to dinner with any celebrity, So in previous get to know why questions, you learned that that I love Rob Lowe and Sheriff Mark Lamb, you know, some of my favorites, and Sam Elliott. But the person that I would like to sit down and share dinner with would probably be Judi Dench. I love her. I just love her. I think that I would just so enjoy just chatting with her without fangirling over her, and listening to her talk. She could talk all day long, and I could just listen to that accent. So yes, the dinner that I would like to share with someone dead or alive would be Judi Dench or Angela Lansbury, but Judi Dench would definitely be the top. H17. If you could only eat one for the rest of your life, would you choose scrambled or sunny side up eggs? Oh, I mean, if you had to have them, it's the only way you could have them for the rest of your life. I would have to go with scrambled, because you could put anything you wanted in a scrambled egg. A sunny side up egg is a sunny side up egg. Now, I love a good sunny side up egg, but I have to be in the mood for sunny side up egg. I have to have good toast and, you know, all the things that go with a sunny side up egg. So I think my answer to that would be a scrambled egg, because you could mix meat in a scrambled egg and cheese and veggies, and you can make a quiche out of a scrambled egg. Yeah, it would be scrambled. What would be your role in a reality TV show? Would you be the partier or the villain or the ditzy girl? Or okay, if I was, I would probably be perceived as the villain or witch, because I am really dead set in my ways, and I just think that everybody should be just as dead set in their ways. The other thing is I'm a super 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 quick learner, and I think that everybody should be a quick learner, and I get frustrated with people who you have to tell things over and over and over to. So I would come across as being snarky, bossy, maybe, um, not underhanded, but maybe I wouldn't be a villain. Maybe I would just come across as being the bossy one, and I would probably get kicked off close to first, because I'm not a very people-y person, but I can definitely be stern and what people might consider to be bossy. Yeah, I'd probably get voted off first. What's your least favorite scent? I have two. They tie for the top. No, I have two. They don't tie. One is worse than the other. I do not like the smell of cinnamon. So when fall comes and you walk into the grocery store and you just get bombarded by them stupid cinnamon brooms, drives me bananas. I can't stand it. The other thing I don't like is vanilla scented candles. I'm not a fan of vanilla at all. Now, I love the taste of vanilla. Don't get me wrong there. I like vanilla candy. I like vanilla in my cookies. In fact, I like lots of vanilla in my cookies. So there's a time and a place for it. A candle is not it. When the candle smells like vanilla, it smells fake to me. So cinnamon and vanilla. definitely. My favorite scent are all the smells that you get when you walk in the different resorts at Disney. Oh my gosh, I just love, love, love. And each resort has its own unique smell. And it's, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. Amazing. In fact, we have some candles that emulate those smells that my husband found a candle company that does all the Disney resorts smells. And oh my gosh, it's just lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The newest one was the that we have. I'm not sure if it's the newest one they have, but the newest one that we have was the 50th anniversary. And you could smell it when you went into like the Grand Floridian. And so we bought the Scentsy Castle and some of that scent. I'm not a Scentsy fan, not a artificial smell person, but I had to have that 50th anniversary castle and the scent. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. 20. What is your biggest cooking fail? Okay, this one I'll never forget. I don't think, Stephanie, my oldest, will ever let me forget it either. One of our favorite foods used to be chicken parmesan. Love some chicken parmesan. I mean, I still love it now. It's not my favorite, but I still really do love it. So when we first moved to North Carolina, when we left Michigan and moved to North Carolina, I decided I was going to make chicken parmesan for the family. And instead of making everything from scratch, I bought all the things and I was just going to put it together. Well, we shopped at the Piggly Wiggly. Have you ever heard of a Piggly Wiggly, guys? Anyways, we had a neighborhood Piggly Wiggly. And so I went to the Piggly Wiggly and I bought some Piggly Wiggly spaghetti sauce, chicken patties, and some noodles. And, because you got to have spaghetti with chicken parm. And I was so excited. Oh, and Parmesan cheese and the whole everything. Like I had it all worked out. And we all sat down at the table and took a bite and just practically spit it out. It was so bad. The sauce was rancid. And of course, I had poured it over top of everything. Yeah, it was the most awful. So I am a proponent for if you're going to use a canned sauce, which we don't do very often because we love to cook. But if you're going to use a canned or a jarred sauce, make sure it's one that you know is good because this one, it ruined our entire dinner. So I think we ended up having sandwiches that night. But yeah, it was awful. The dog wouldn't even eat it. And that's pretty bad when the dog doesn't want it. Yeah, it was awful. So that was the worst. That was my cooking fail. I keep feeling one that's not laying down over here. That's right. I wonder if there's something underneath here. Okay. All right. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? If I could travel anywhere in the world right now, my husband and I are talking about doing a special trip next year because it'll be our 25th anniversary. And so we're talking about doing doing something like Tuscany, Italy, Venice, something like that, because it's the 25th anniversary of our first date. It'll be our 23rd wedding anniversary, but our 25th anniversary of our first date. So we're thinking about doing something something big. And for our first date, we had we cooked lasagna and watched a movie. So I said, yeah, we could always go to Disney and go to Italy, but we do that all the time. That doesn't come to me as really special. So I've been looking into those Perillo tours of Italy, thinking maybe we'll go to Italy. I don't know. Or maybe we'll wait and do the big, what do you want? The big one on our 25th wedding anniversary, which is 2 years. We got married 2 years to the day from when we met. So, we might wait and have a little more planning time. But I think it'll be somewhere out that way. So yeah, I would have to say, well, my husband really wants to go to Japan. So either of those would make fantastic destinations for us. So I'm just not sure which one it's going to be. I know I'm going to Disney next year in July with a friend. We're going to go to a scrapbook retreat, but we are going to diamond paint, which is what I did last time. And there were other diamond painters there too. But it is a scrapbook retreat. But yeah, so I'm already going to Disney. So it just, I don't know. I don't, if we wait and do something for our actual 25th wedding anniversary, then I feel like we need to go somewhere tropical to the beach, because we honeymooned on the beach in North Carolina. My boss at the time gave us his condo. He was very generous to us when we got married. So there's that. But for our dating anniversary, I want to do something like go to Italy or Tuscany, or Italy, go to Tuscany or Venice. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So if I could go somewhere right now, those are the two choices. And now that we have our passports, we can go anywhere we want, where before we were kind of limited because we didn't have passports. And you think of something that everyone looks ridiculous doing. I want to say some of those party games, like I can't even think of the name of one of them now. Just those stupid party games that you play when you have like Christmas parties and whatnot. One of them is you strap a box to your waist with it on the outside with ping pong balls in it. You have to get all the ping pong balls out. You have to do it by shaking your booty. Yeah, those kind of games. Everybody looks silly doing those. Everybody. Or how about skydiving? Everybody looks silly skydiving. I need 10. And the last question of this set of questions. Whoops, I'm missing a page here. All right. If you had to work a completely different role at your company, what would it be? Well, seeing as I am the only person, or have been for several years, the only person at my job, nothing would change because I do it all now. I am the end all, be all, do it all person. Well, I did hire somebody who will hopefully be able to take over and do everything. And now I'm just more of the, I take care of the books and the office manager type thing. So yeah, there's that. That is the last of my questions for this go round. And it's been a little time, so I've kept you here for quite a while. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me, for indulging me in these questions to get to know me a little better. And I just want to thank you so much for subscribing and returning and doing all the things. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you liked what you saw or heard and that you'd like to stick around for some more. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, oh, wait a minute. I have 2 more to place and then I'm finished with this section. I'm going to have you finish it with me. So there's 1. Of course, my fingers won't want to work right. Okay, there's 1. And the last one is here. It is 58. Yes, I got a whole section done. Well, it was started already, so I didn't actually do the whole section this morning. And there we go. And with that, I will say to you, have a fab day, friends.